Hey people, welcome to the Run Testers, and in this video we're talking running headphones, specifically the Run Testers award-winning Jabra Elite 8 Active 2. There has been some minor updates to the second edition of these in-ear buds. That's mainly to improve the active noise cancellation and the awareness modes. The fact they haven't changed too much is good news in some ways because the first generation also won our award for best running headphones last year. So if you want to know why we've crowned these the best running headphones 2 years in a row, you need to watch on. Now before we get into the design, the first thing you need to know is that Jabra is getting out of the headphones business. So while these are fantastic, the software support and all that, the app support might not last forever. So there is a caveat to this. The changes to the Jabra Elite 8 Active 2 though are minimal. The hardware stays largely the same and it's the software and the algorithms that have been updated to improve the sound quality. The updates include enhanced hear-through transparency mode for better awareness outdoors, which is optimized to reduce wind noise, stronger adaptive hybrid active noise cancellation with improved mid and low frequency noise cancellation there. There are a total of 6 mics still in these to try and guarantee good call quality on the move, and Jabra says that's also been improved thanks to new enhanced AI call algorithms. There's a new smart case, which is the big hardware change, and this connects to any device via the supplied dual end, a USB-C or a 3.5mm jack, so you can now stream spatial sound direct to your earbuds without Bluetooth. So you can use these now with non-Bluetooth friendly kind of treadmills and aeroplane screens by linking the case into those and then using your headphones. Beyond that, you're getting the same wing-free, light and compact buds that sit snug in the ears with a shake grip liquid silicone compound coating that gets grippier when it gets wet. The buds are nice and lightweight. They weigh in at just 5 grams or 0.2 ounces. The charging case is compact and running belt friendly, weighing in at 47.5 grams or 1.68 ounces. On paper, the battery life on the buds is 8 hours with active noise cancellation on. There's a further 24 hours of active noise cancellation charge in the case, or up to 56 case plus buds total runtime if you use them with the active noise cancellation off. A 5-minute fast charge banks an hour's runtime. When it comes to durability, Jabra says these are the toughest headphones it's ever made. The buds are IP68 rated, so they can be submerged up to 1.5 meters in water. They can be rinsed underwater, they can get splashed during water sports, running, soaked on a rainy day, all that kind of stuff. They're dust proof as well, and they're military tested. The case is also IP54 rated, so that's dust protected and splash proof, which is good news if you want to carry it with you on a run. Good thing for ultras if you're packing them in your belt and all that kind of thing. The sound is powered by 6mm speakers with Dolby spatial sound, customizable music EQ and music EQ presets in the partner app. Other clever tricks include Spotify Tap for launching your most recent Spotify played track with a single tap, Find My Buds for locating misplaced headphones, and on connectivity they pack Bluetooth 5.3 multi-point so you can connect to 2 devices simultaneously and switch from laptop to phone without having to reconnect. You can also pair with up to 10 devices, and there's that LE audio mode for wiring into things like aeroplane monitors when you can't connect via Bluetooth. On price, the RRP was $229.99 in the UK, but you can find the Jabra Elite 8 Active Gen now for around £160. For context, you can pick up the first gen now for around £99 as well on deals.
So there's not a huge amount to report on the design side of things with the Gen 2 8 Active. They're identical to Gen 1, and that goes for the kind of look, that kind of understated, kind of stylish, kind of matte look that I think makes it quite nice to use for when you're, running, but also when you're using it outside of running as well too. It uses that kind of shake fit grip design to keep them in your ears, so there's no ear hooks, no wingtips, and like Gen 1, they've worked very well for me. I've used them for a mixture of runs, a mixture of paces, and they have stayed put. I think the other thing I really like that's kind of stuck around has been the controls. I think some earbuds really struggle in terms of implementing those controls, but Jabra do a really good job with their kind of physical controls. It's a case of pressing on the outside of the earbuds, and I love the fact they've got volume controls there, which work really well for me, and I kind of like adjusting volume. The kind of skipping tracks all works very well for me. The key difference really kind of lies in the case. It's minor differences. It's maybe slightly heavier than the one with the Gen 1 earbuds. We've got a similar kind of look in terms of portability, but the cables are slightly kind of changed. You're getting a USB-C to 3.5mm cable, which enables kind of spatial sound mode, which not really for running, but also make it better for kind of traveling and using kind of in-flight entertainment systems as well too. So those are really kind of non-running kind of benefits, but everything else from a design point of view, from a running perspective, is all very similar here. So in terms of sound quality, effectively you are getting the same setups with the Gen 2 to the Gen 1 version. It's the same components, it's the same in terms of the modes that you're getting. You're getting a hear-through mode, an active noise cancellation mode. With that active noise cancellation mode, Jabra is promising that the ANC is going to be 2 times more effective than the version used on the Gen 1 version, but it essentially uses the same version of that kind of hybrid active noise cancellation as Gen 1, and it's not the best kind of ANC support offered on a pair of Jabra earbuds. Now, in terms of that performance, I would say it has been pretty similar for me, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. The Jabra Elite 8 Active Gen 1 sound very good, and it's all the same kind of things I'm seeing here in terms of that sound performance. It's bright, energetic, it's customizable, it's good kind of general bass warmth there as well. As I said with Gen 1, I think out of the box, the sound performance or quality isn't the best. And I think once you kind of pair it with that sound companion app on iPhone or Android, go and see what you can play with in terms of those settings, in terms of the EQ mode. I think you get something a lot more rewarding, and that's ultimately what I had to do with Gen 2. In terms of having more effective active noise cancellation, I can't say that's something I really did notice in my time with them. It isn't the best ANC support I have experienced on a set of earbuds. I still think the AirPods and Sony's kind of top end earbuds kind of offer the best performance there that I've experienced. It's the same with the hear through mode as well too. It's very good. It's not the best available on a set of earbuds, but I think ultimately I really enjoy the sound performance and the profile that you get on the Jabra Elite 8 Active Gen 2. It's not that far off the Gen 1. The promises of improvements I've not really seen. In terms of battery life, again, I would say it is very similar, if not identical, to my time with the Gen 1 version of the Elite 8 Active. It's promising the same numbers, and that's whether you're using it in ANC mode or without ANC. Now, when I used them for generally for over an hour's worth of running with ANC, I saw a drop of around 30%. I think for a similar amount of running time with ANC disabled, it was half that. So if you look at those numbers, that adds up to what those kind of numbers are promised by Jabra. And as I said, it's not a promised improvement on Gen 1. It's matching what Gen 1 offered. And if you're happy with the level of performance that we've got on Gen 1, that's what I've experienced using the Gen 2 versions of the Elite 8 Active.
So Jabra Elite 8 Active Gen 2, the last hurrah, I think, for Jabra's consumer side headphones. It's a bit of a shame because they've always made very good headphones, always headphones that we've rated very highly as running headphones, and that's certainly the case with the Elite 8 Active Gen 2. So a lot of the stuff I like about these buds is the same as on other Jabra headphones, the previous models of these headphones in particular. Starting with the fit, in general, I don't really get on that well with in-ear buds for running. They just squirm loose and drop out for me and that kind of thing, unless I have some kind of wing or a ear hook on them, which can come a little bit uncomfortable over time. But Jabra's headphones have always stayed in place for me, and that's the case with the Elite 8 Active Gen 2s as well. They just sit pretty comfortably in my ear. They don't fall out on the run. Runs of any length, they feel comfortable. And it's an exceptional aspect of those headphones for me. Lots of other people get on fine with all in-ear headphones, but I do think the Jabras are the ones that have always fit the best for me. The controls are still very good on these headphones, like they have been on previous models. You get a nice clear button that's easy to hit while you're running. You can also turn them off, which you can't do with most truly wireless headphones without putting them back in the case. And I do find that quite annoying if I want to just take the headphones with me on a run, then maybe take them out and be able to turn them off, put them in pockets. So that's a nice little plus point you get there. The battery life is also exceptional, as it was with the previous models. For headphones that are this small, you get amazing battery life that outlasts most of their peers, whether you're using the ANC or not. Cases small enough to carry with you as well, and that really bumps the battery life to a very high figure. And they've been hitting the marks that Jabra suggests as well. Like, I tend to probably have the ANC or hear through mode on, but they're still lasting a good long time on the run and for general use as well. And then the stuff that has been upgraded a little bit compared to the previous model of the Elite 8 Active is the sound quality and the ANC. So sound quality for me was very good on the previous model of headphones, and it remains very good here. I haven't really noticed a huge upgrade there, but I'm sure people will who are maybe have a slightly more finely tuned ear than I do, but they sound very, very good for sure. I do think the ANC has received a noticeable little bump if you're going to be traveling a lot, going on trains and planes. That is a benefit, but I wouldn't say those little upgrades are a reason I'd rush out and buy these over the previous model. Like the original Elite 8 Active had very good sound quality in ANC. Like I really enjoyed using them all the time as well. A little bump up is no bad thing, but I wouldn't say it's a huge upgrade that's can massively change your life. But like I say, if you're a bit more of an audiophile than me, you might really appreciate that little bump you get there. The hear-through mode remains excellent as well. I think that's one that's worth flagging up in the run test here is lots of headphones have these transparency modes. I think this Jabra mode and the one on the Apple AirPods Pro are the ones that I really find are good on the run, as in that you can hear stuff around you quite clearly. It doesn't just become like a wind mode where it just get noise as you're running along. You can actually filter that out and still hear what's going on whilst keeping your headphones in your ears. Like it's not the same level of awareness that you get from open buds or even open fit headphones like the AirPods 4, but it is a really handy feature as a runner if you'd rather not just take both headphones out, so you can still hear your surroundings whilst listening to music or podcasts.
So let's have a look at the run test then, starting with the case. Well, this is nice and compact and running belt friendly. I think overall there's a comprehensive suite of additional features to these two: active noise cancellation, hear through, find my buds. I love the dual simultaneous connections that make it really easy to switch between phone and laptop. They work really well. I come in from runs sort of onto calls quite a lot, so that's a really easy thing to do. And in my tests, when it came to battery life, it's solid. 90 minutes running with ANC on, burned 30%. 90 minutes running with ANC turned off, burned 10%. That's with the volume up pretty high on both. I listen really loud. They'll cope with marathon easily and single day ultras with the case. Regular top-ups with a quick charge feature also really alleviate the need to charge them fully. And when you factor in the kind of case, most runners are likely to get through a month running an hour a day or so on a single charge with these, or at least with very minimal charging, which is so good on battery life. Now, in-ear headphones tend to be okay for me, and I find the Jabras fit nice and reliable 99% of the time. Occasionally I have to fiddle a bit once I start moving just to ensure that I've got them kind of more firmly and securely in place. But I think the fit really benefits from how light and compact the buds are. I don't get any tugging like you can with some heavier, bulkier buds that sort of move themselves out of your ears over time. And running it flat at any pace was fine with me. However, I wouldn't 100% back them to stay put on kind of big impact, sort of steep descents or downhills, trails and that kind of stuff. Now, I don't tend to fiddle with my headphones that much once I'm running. I usually stick a playlist on, pop the buds in, and then I'll just start running. But the controls when you need to use them on the Elite 8 Active 2 are nice and simple. The presses are nicely responsive. You don't have to jab too much, which helps with that kind of fit security. I also like that you can customize many of the controls in the app. And I like that kind of single tap Spotify feature that automatically plays your most recent track. It's a nice welcome touch. Now, I'm quite easily satisfied when it comes to sound. I like it loud, rich, bassy, with plenty of energy. And I think the Jabra Elite 8 Active 2 tick those boxes like they did with the first gen of these. There's good depth to the sound. I think it's full and rich with a decent amount of subtlety to it, at least for my sort of slightly simplistic non-audiophile ears. It's got great top volume, plenty of bass if you want it. I don't get any distortion at the top levels, and I love the fact that you can flick between presets or create your own custom sound profiles for different settings, like in the gym on a treadmill versus being outdoors. Call quality on the run was good for me. On the odd occasion that I took a call, all the people I tested this with said I came across loud and clear with no cutouts, and importantly with limited wind interference. Now, one of those extra sort of boosted sound profiles, the active noise cancellation and that, I don't personally use ANC or the transparency modes that much on the run. Mostly I'll fire it up in a shared working space, cafes, that kind of thing. And for me, it's pretty effective for filtering out the general hubbub. Works well on public transport too. If you're a user awareness modes, the wind filtering is now pretty good on these. It improved for the last generation, same here as well. And overall, the buds do everything better in the sound department for this upgraded generation, but I didn't find the difference was that staggering on the sound that I'd really pay the extra for those upgrades. I'm kind of happy with the last gen performance. Some people might find the subtleties worthwhile, but I'm pretty happy with what the last gen did.
Verdict. I do think it's a real shame that Jabra are discontinuing this kind of headphone. I think they will be supported going forward, so I think you can buy without worrying about it too much, but it's a shame because I do think they do make the best workout and running headphones with this range. Like these are the in-ear buds that I have found the best for running and other kinds of workouts consistently across the past few years. The top active model in Jabra's range is generally the best running headphones, I think, if you're looking for that crossover of really good sounding headphones that have usable controls, great battery life, really good ANC and transparency modes. Like I say, really good sound quality. You can use them for general use, but they also stay in place reliably on the run, feel good on the run, are easy to use on the run, and that's exactly what the Elite 8 Active Gen 2 are. They're fantastic all-round headphones. So you've got a lot of similar qualities actually to something like the Apple AirPods 2, but that fit is what really sets them apart for me. Like as someone who, like I say, who struggles with in-ear headphones a lot of the time, the Elite 8 Actives just stay in place, and that's not the case with the AirPods and lots of other smaller in-ear buds like that. So that means they're quite comfortable because I don't have to wear a wing with them. However, I don't think they're a huge upgrade on the previous model of these, and in general, that's always, I think, the thing that undercuts the top models in Jabra's range. They do have an extensive range of headphones. There's Elite 4 Active, there's even the Elite 3, and even if they're not necessarily active headphones, they do tend to have a very good fit, I think, Jabra headphones for running, and they have a lot of similar features across the board. You're getting an upgrade as you go up the range, certainly in terms of things like sound quality and ANC, and this is the pinnacle of Jabra's range in that sense, but I think it's pretty close between these and the previous model, which if you're going to find them in a sale or they're just cheaper at their standard price, I'd probably look at that myself. Like if you're someone who travels an awful lot and are very, very keen on sound quality, then yeah, maybe make the upgrade to the new ones because the extra ANC will help on traveling and you might notice more of a bump in sound quality than I did. But I think the original Elite 8 Actives are amazing headphones and you could definitely look at those. And then the Elite 4 Active, if you're just looking for a really solid set of headphones that can do everything pretty well, they're now going for really low prices in sales, and they are still excellent headphones. Like they don't have the same array of features or as good sound or ANC as you're getting here, but everything's pretty much passable on there and you still get a really good fit, pretty good battery life, a nice small compact set of headphones that are great for running as well as general use, and they're coming in a lot cheaper. So yeah, probably the main competition here is Jabra's other buds, which are such good value, but these are the best ones Jabra has made, and I'm sure they'll be a regular feature in sales themselves as Jabra kind of winds down this consumer side of its business, and you're going to get a really good set of headphones for running and general use if you do find them at a good price.
Verdict then, well, I'm a fan of Jabra's running headphones. They tend to offer good quality and value, so it's sad to see them exit this space, and I think the Active 8.2 build on what's gone before, albeit for me, in my use case, in a small way. If you're looking for good fit, solid sound, big battery life, the 8 Active 2 offers that all-round package that you got with the last gen. There's balanced sound that packs plenty of top volume punch with clear, rich, deep and nuanced audio. That's easy to tweak and tune and get personal sound profiles sort of tailored in the app. I found the fit secure thanks to a nice compact design. The controls are easy to use, nicely responsive. The customization is great. The active noise cancellation battery life is pretty competitive with 8 hours on the buds. That's plenty enough on the buds for a marathon rising to an ultra. Now throw in good durability and a feature-rich app, and I love what these kind of offer all round. However, that's also true, I think, of the previous generation. So if you can find the Active 8 for cheaper, I think they're as good for running. Basically, the Jabra Elite 8 Active 2 offers a fantastic all-round package for the price, but I think you can get it slightly better on the cheaper ones.
So my take on the Jabra Elite Active Gen 2 is that these are, like Gen 1, fantastic truly wireless earbuds for running. And if you are looking for a set of earbuds that really excel for non-running uses, but really kind of deliver on the running front as well, then there's very few better earbuds than the Jabra Elite 8 Active Gen 2. Now, in terms of being an upgrade from Gen 1, there's not a huge amount here, really. The core things here like design and fit, sound performance, battery life performance are identical. And it really kind of does boil down to whether you want that smart case and that support for that kind of spatial sound. And if you're the kind of person that likes to kind of, run a lot in the gym and likes to be distracted by films and TV shows, if you don't, then I wouldn't be upgrading to Gen 2. And I think, some of the promised sound, performance upgrades don't really kind of ring true for me on the Gen 2 compared to Gen 1. So you look at the other options that are available outside of Jabra's range, and I'm really talking about things that I think work kind of in those kind of, as I said, non-running kind of scenarios, but also running scenarios. And I think you're looking at things like the Apple AirPods Pro 2, you are looking at things like the Beats Fit Pro, you're looking at things like the Bose Ultra Open earbuds as well, which starting with the Bose, they are they're pretty expensive earbuds. They use that kind of open ear approach, slightly kind of more unique design. Now, those sound great. I think the fit in general is fine, but when I've raced with them or tried to race them, I found the fit more problematic and using the controls more problematic as well when I've been running. I think if you look at the Beats Fit Pro, I think sounds is great on those. I think what I found with the Beats Fit Pro is that the fit has been uncomfortable over longer runs, and it's been a lot more reliable with the Jabra earbuds in comparison. The Apple AirPods Pro 2, I think sound fantastic. The active noise cancellation is more impressive on the Apple AirBuds compared to the Jabras. But I think in terms of, having a more reliable fit for more people, the Jabra is probably going to work a lot better. I think if you look at the price ranges, they're all pretty expensive earbuds. But if you kind of look on the kind of Jabra side of things, things are dropping in price. Now, Jabra is going to kind of step out of the consumer earphone business. So while, you're not going to kill support straight away. You know, further down the line, this is something they're committing to making more of. But I think you're going to be fine getting them now. You know, I'd be comfortable kind of still picking them up. It's still going to deliver and still be usable for a long time. I think, you know, if you are looking, as I said, for a good set of truly wireless earbuds that kind of work well when you're not running and really come alive and really deliver on the running front, then these are some of the best, and if not the best, that you can buy.
So there you have it. That's been our review of the Jabra Elite 8 Active. I hope it's been useful. As ever, hit us up in the comments if you have any questions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get alerts when new videos land. Go check out the other headphone reviews on the channel. I'm going to pop one up now that you should have a look for if you're interested in bone conductors at all. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching and happy running, people.